Morning, a good Thursday, good Wednesday night, wherever you're watching around the world. Rabs, Kevin here, bringing you our Thursday edition of Rugby Chat. It could be just me today with young Mike out on the road. He'll be bringing us, I'm sure, comments along the way. Big but short show today. But I mean, wow, what a last 24 hours we have had in Kiwi land here. And I mean, really, the biggest news is, of course, Dave Rennie. Tell us your thoughts. Throw them in the comments. I'm sure we'd love to hear all the people down there on the West Coast wanting to know why people like Jesse McRae and Josh Flavel weren't considered for the job down there from the West Coast. But it'll be interesting to see what does happen because Jason Ryan, of course, the scrum coach for the All Blacks, ex-West Coast player, ex-West Coast coach, will he still be in the mix? I mean, you know, if we listen, I'm sure you've all seen the video now of his interview yesterday, the press conference. He's not throwing any punches. He's got a great record, 75% winning record against the South Africans. He won 3 under-20 world championships, undefeated with the under-20s. And we've seen how they've gone backwards now. He's not there. And, you know, he's still got his finger on the pulse. But the fun thing that I have seen is that his decisions and his interesting take on players from overseas, because he has said that players will need to earn the right. Sure, he's in Japan. Sure, he is watching all these guys, Brodie Retallick, Richie Mo'unga, etc., play over there. And but it is a different competition. But it was an interesting quote he said last night that a lot of the Japanese league teams could, he reckons, beat a Super Rugby New Zealand team. Yeah, I mean, the national side have come close, but really, I think he could be a bit J-League biased there. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see because he is saying that the players will have to earn the right to wear the jersey. And I'm sure Rhodey will have a few words to talk about that because we've always thought, well, how can you be a Super Rugby contract and a New Zealand Rugby contract? I thought they were all contracts. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Dave Rennie will pick some of these guys that have been playing overseas or drag them home and let them play here in the NPC. But short turnaround of drinks. We all know he's passionate about the game. Took Wellington to a championship, did well with Manawatu as well. He's been around the block, did okay with the Glasgow Warriors, etc. So, I mean, it is a really, really exciting time, I suppose you could say, for New Zealand rugby. And now all eyes will be on who does he bring in. He has said that he has a team of coaches that he uses. So, who will they stay? Will we see Jason Holland back? It will be an interesting next month or so, I would say, and a few nervous people still sitting there in the coach's box. And as I said, Mike is on the road, and he is saying, "All hail Dave Rennie." So there you go. I guess we wait and see. One of the stupidest questions at the press conference was, will you go on beyond 2027? And his answer was gold by saying it's day one. I mean, sometimes reporters, you know, he could go off and lose 10 test matches in a row and we'll be all after his head and saying, bring back Razor Robinson. I don't know. But I guess we'll wait and see what's going on in the world of All Black rugby. But hey, if you're following us on YouTube, welcome. I finally figured out that when it says made for kids, I just thought it would be okay for kids, but no, apparently, I mean, a lot of you didn't see our podcast over the last few years, but I've changed the settings on that, and of course, our viewership on YouTube has absolutely skyrocketed. I mean, exponentially skyrocketed. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments, and we'll see if I can answer them. But anyway, on with the show, and of course, as I've just mentioned, we do have the team lists that have come out for this weekend. And, wow, we kick off with the Chiefs Moana game being played tomorrow night in Hamilton. Referee for this game will be Todd Petrie, and the ARs Maggie Kogaoa and Warwick Lemert, with the TMO being Richard Kelly. Now, I'll just quickly go through who we've got here because I do have the head-to-heads as well. But some interesting names in here that are back in the fold, especially there at number 9 with Cortez Rautama and Damian McKenzie back from parental leave. And also the captain, Tupai Vai, is switching lock positions from 4 to 5. And of course, Leroy Carter Narawa is back on the wing there. Strong bench again for the Chiefs tomorrow night, and it will be an interesting matchup because the Moana Pacifica, as we have mentioned once or twice, they started off with a bit of a hiss and a roar, but they've sort of gone back to a standard number 1 team, I suppose you could say, with Miracle back there leading from the side of the scrum. Augustin Pulu, he's back also from injury, which is awesome to see. And so a few of these guys are starting to flow back in. So I believe that the the Chiefs won't have it all their own way. So if we have a look at their head-to-heads here for tomorrow night, very strong there in the front row. It's going to be good to see how Millennium Sanrivi gets on against Samasami Takahau, and Ruben O'Neill is off the bench to be at the tight head there. Natoa Akoi, he's back from a bit of a break, and as I mentioned, we've got Tupai Vai there taking on Alan Craig, who had a great game last week. But of course, we all look at the 9s and 10s. And the wiry old skin of Jackson Garden Bishop up against Damian McKenzie. Is he going to come out firing? Is he hungry? He's had quite a bit of a break from rugby over the last few months, being a new dad and all that. But I tell you, the wing battle with Leroy Carter and Amoni Narawa, I think they're going to blitz the poor old Moana Pacifica, and it's a bit of a worry, really. I think, and a bit of a change there at fullback with Leems Coombs Fabling coming in there as well. And then on the benches, I'll just blow that up so we can see. As I said, we've got Kyle Brown and Tyler Pellini there at the bottom from where we can't see it. But 2 total strong benches as well. But I think if you look at benches and give them marks out of 10, I think I'd give maybe a 7 to the Chiefs, but probably a 5 to the Moana Pacifica. Their bench really hasn't struck well. I mean, Patrick Pellegrini, he is there just in case Garden Bishop has a traditional shocker. So that is that game. Predictions, I'm going to be saying Chiefs by plenty. I think the Chiefs will get up by at least 20 points. That is what I think. Tell me what you think, because as we head to the next matchup here, and of course, there's only one place to go, and that is to be all eyes at 9:30 New Zealand time with James Dolman there as the referee, and the AR's Fraser Hammond and Dan Moore with the TMO being James Lockie. Sydney Stadium, the Waratahs have pretty much an unchanged lineup. They're still carrying on with how they've started the season. Jorgensen, of course, is on fire. Jake Gordon's been leading them around well. Charlie Gamble, of course, is playing outstanding rugby this season. And Pete Samu has made his start at the Waratahs really, really awesome. And if we look at the bench, a strong bench, but yeah, I suppose everyone in New Zealand would like to see who is going to be back in the Hurricanes to see if they can bounce back from their defeat to Fijian and Drua last week. And as you can see there at number 7, Captain Fantastic Duplessis Karifi is back. And he comes in there with Flanders on the other side, and Peter Larkai moves into number 8, replacing Braden Oasi there in the starting lineup. They're sticking with Callum Harkin at number 10 with Billy Proctor and Geordie Barrett there in the centres, Fihi and Baden Sullivan and Josh Morby. The bench is very strong with Brad Shields, Braden Oasi, because we know what he can do. Lucas Cashmore had an okay game, and so it'll be interesting to see if we have a look at the head-to-heads, though. This is going to be a bit of a battle royal. I think the Hurricanes front row might have the wood on the Waratahs, especially with Umua there hooking. The locks, Warner Dunes moves from 5 to 4, and Isaiah Walker-Lawari makes his first start instead of off the bench for the season. And then when we look at the halfbacks, Cam Roigard versus Jake Gordon, that's a battle in itself. Hopefully Roigard will have a bit of a better game than he did against Fiji. But the thing is, that is literally a flush the dunny moment because the weather was not the greatest for the running rugby the Hurricanes like to run. But then in saying that, it is in Sydney, so hopefully the weather stays kind for everybody there. If we look at the battle of the wings, we've got Max Jorgensen up against Baden Sullivan and Fihi against Tristan Kelly. Well, I think Fihi will win that battle against Tristan Riley. Sorry, not Kelly. My eyes aren't working all that great today. And, of course, Andrew Callaway, lethal from the back, but so can Josh Morby. So this is going to be a huge match, and I think the Hurricanes, for me, will get up to win this, mainly on the back also of their bench, because, when you've got players like Lawaki, Shields, Oaisi, and Jonah Rover, who's maybe a star in the making, to come on, I think the Hurricanes will have it over the Waratahs bench moving forward. So, as I said, that game is on Friday night, 9:30 New Zealand time, 7:35 in Australia. So then we now move to the games on Saturday. And on Saturday, we have the Highlanders taking on the Western Force. Of course, Jamie Joseph, the coach, was in the running for the All Blacks. And, he'll be wanting to make every poster winner from now, won't he? To show, this is what we've got. A huge welcome back to the front row for Angus Tarwell. Again, thoughts goes out to his family of what they've gone through over the last few weeks. Ethan de Groot, he's been there and he's been sort of okay, but I haven't actually seen him fire. I still have him in my fantasy team, but we'll see how it goes. And Jack Taylor, the good old Southlander there at hooker, he's been playing really well as well. TK Howden, Lasawa, and Nakora Broughton on the back of the scrum. Falau Fakatava, he gets the nod this week to start over Adam Lennox with Cam Miller, who had a really quiet game, let's be honest, last week. At number 10 in the centres there, we've got Tomochi Tavatavanawai and Jonah Lowe. And then speed to kill on the wings there with Jonah Nariki and Caleb Tangatau, and then Radamu Kafutu Neepkins at the back. I will get my name around your surname. Apologies again. Apologies again to Jacob. The bench, though, looking good. Daniel Leonard-Brown there. Wade will be sitting there waiting to come on. Captain Sean Withy will be hoping to also jump on there. If Falau gets a bit of a touch-up from the Force boys, Adam Lennox is ready to go. And Tanalua Talia there to come in the back line as well. It's quite a strong-looking Highlanders team. So if we look at how we look at for the Western Force, for all those people watching over there in sunny Perth, a few changes there, but Jeremy Williams, he moves actually from number 6 back down into number 4 with Champion de Crispy being promoted into the starting lineup again. Carlo Tizzano, he's going to be a threat with, but then with Nathan Hassey and Ben Donaldson, I mean, they are two class players who will be looking at, setting the world on fire. So, keep an eye out for those two. In the centres, it's a bit light on it with Hamish Stewart and David Palau there because George Bridge has been moved over to the wing. So you're going to have George Bridge on one wing and Darby Lancaster on the other wing with Greeley at fullback. So they'll be, that just says to me they'll be looking to get the ball really wide to those guys throughout the match. So hopefully we don't see too much kicking. It'll be an interesting battle there to see George Bridge on fire again at Forsyth Bar Stadium on Friday night. The subs bench there as well is actually quite a strong bench there with Hooker, Nick Dolly there, Fangasa, Epinesa and Molina, the Argentinian. But I tell you what, with Curtly Beale, I mean, he's like an Energizer battery. He keeps on coming on. Even if he only plays 10, 15 minutes, he can cause some havoc. And to answer our question from Tuesday's show, if you look at the Highlanders starting 15, still no Lavini from Argentina. He's not even in the on the reserves bench. So, but as you can see there, the big battles there, 9 and 10. And for me, also the battle on the wings there between Jonah Nariki, Darby Lancaster, and George Bridge and Caleb Tangatau. That's going to be that's quite mouth-watering in itself. The referee for this game as well is Ben O'Keefe, so he won't be taking any nonsense. Maggie Kaur and Cogger Orr and Warwick Lemert and Richard Kelly, they've jumped on the plane overnight to travel back down, well, especially Maggie Kaur and Warwick Lemert, to travel down from the Chiefs, I believe they were at, yes. So Todd Petrie didn't get the gig. So Richard Kelly, though, they've all got the fly miles on them. Right, so where are we going with this one? I think the Highlanders will be far too strong. They'll be wanting to take one out for the governor, and I think they might win by 13 plus. So that's just my opinion. So then we go to this game. I suppose we better talk about it. The Blues versus the Crusaders, Saturday night, 7 o'clock New Zealand time, or 7:05. Nick Berry will be the referee with Marcus Playle and Louis Trisley as the ARs with Aaron Patterson on the TMO video. So Finlay Christie, again, he gets the start. Stephen Perifetta is still there at number 10. Kirk Eklund, he's sort of cementing himself there in the hooker position. And then we look at the bench. I suppose we have a look at the wingers as well. We had Caleb Clark and Cody Vi with Zahn Sullivan there. But, of course, everyone's looking at the bench to see what minutes number 22 Bowden Barrett has. He's had plenty of time off. And Anton Segner, well, he'll be looking for a big game himself, especially up against those Crusader boys. Sam Martinger, congratulations to him on making his Super Rugby debut. As I said, Buller, East Coast, Tasman. He's definitely a journeyman that's earned his stripes. So, I mean, even Anton Segner's got a bit of Buller history. If you want to know, ask away. So then we look at the Crusaders, and of course, they will be all guns firing, especially after last week's big win over the Chiefs. Cody Taylor is back in the starting lineup. Christian Leo-Willie, he had a blinder. Blackadder, is he going to be back in the All Blacks radar? Maybe, maybe not. Noah Hotham, he's starting to get his stripes as a world-class number 9. But Rivers Rihana, he is also back at number 10 over Taha Kamara, who's moved to fullback because Will Jordan is out injured. But huge centre pairing there of Havili and Whaianuku with Reese and Shea Fihaki on the wings. When we look at the subs here for the Crusaders, with Brewis and Calder there, that's nothing to sneeze at coming off the bench. Kyle Preston, we know what he can do. Still bitter that Wellington didn't sign him up. And, of course, Dallas McLeod is overeating all those great southern man pies, as Mr. Bell would say. And, so that's the starting lineup there. If we go head-to-head, though, I mean, it is a battle royal, isn't it? The Blues, Crusaders, Eden Park. Who's going to do the niggle? I think both teams will be doing a bit of the niggle. Jamie Hanna up against Sam Darry there at number 5 will be an awesome battle. I think that whole lock battle will be quite tight. If you were going to flick a coin, you'd probably have to lean towards the front row of the Crusaders over the front row. No disrespect to Turanavasi, Eklund or Renata. There's only like decimal points in that front row. And then if we look at the Lucy's, Torian Barnes, who everyone's got the wood on, has been the next great thing. Dalton Papali'i playing his 101st game, and Hoskins Satutu is still there, but I think he's going to get shown up big time by Christian Leo-Willie. Finlay Christie, Noah Hotham. If Finlay Christie keeps on wanting to kick the ball away, great, because there'll be, Harville and Whaianuku there waiting to grab that ball and have a good crack at the line of the Blues. So that is quite an amazing lineup for early in the season. Remember, we're only up to week 4. And then, as I said, if we look at that, reserves bench, other than that, if you took Bowden Barrett out of that, I think it would be definitely leaning towards maybe the Crusaders. I really like Corey Callow there for the Crusaders. I think he's something to watch, but it'll be an interesting battle up front, and then it'll be interesting to see what happens around that 55-60 minute mark when the guys come in. What will also be interesting too is what words have they already received from the All Black camp of what style of rugby we're going to see. Are we going to see a change up in how the rugby is being played? Because they've said that, Dave Rennie is only basically, he started the job, but he's not back in the country until June. And then he's got, 4 weeks to go before the July tests. So he'll have his plan in place already. And maybe we might see some changes in the way the New Zealand sides play the game. Just double checking our comments here. So Tommy Gunn, welcome to the show. Blackadder needs another few All Black caps. I totally agree. As I just said, you know, Dave Rennie has also said that there is, you know, everyone can play their way into the All Blacks. So make our contract conspiracy theory wrong. You know, make it wrong. Make us wrong is what we say to Dave Rennie. Pick the players who are on form. Would you have Bowden Barrett there? Would you have Rivers Rihana there? Would you bring in Richie Mwanga, who's been playing in Japan? It's a good question to be had by all. So in this one, well, you know that there's only one way I'm going to go. I'm going to say the Blues to go down. Caught you out there. I'm going for the Crusaders to win this by 12 and under. I think it will be a tight match. But, Crusaders for me, 12 and under. And then we head over the ditch, or the ditch, as the Aussies would like to say, with the Brumbies taking on the Queensland Reds. Wow. James Slipper, we've used superlatives for this guy all season, haven't we? He is about to play his 202nd game in Super Rugby. He will be equaling Wyatt Crockett on 202 games. He's back again. He's been playing absolutely out of his skin this season. It's almost like he's had a new lease on life. And then we've got Pollard and Van Neek, Shaw, Caden Neville, and pretty much an unchanged side. Ryan Lonergan's been leading really well from scrum half, and Charlie Gale at number 8 has been absolutely on fire himself, leading the points in the, Player of the Year awards. The referee for this match is Angus Gardner with Jordan Way and Jeremy Markey as the ARs, and James Leckie will be the TMO. But then there a little bit of a change. Well, not really. Same back row for the Brumbies. And then if we take a quick look at their bench, Bowaround, Shoop, Alatini, McPherson, Raymer, Thorne, Edmund, and Hudson Crichton. It's 100% a battle royal going to be had there at Canberra. But can the Queensland Reds carry on from where they left off last week after their win against the Highlanders? These were our team of our pick for the team to watch this year in Australia, and they got off to a horror start. So at least they're 1-2 now. And Aidan Ross, the ex-Waikato Chiefs All Black, now Australian, there at Loosehead with Nasser and Nongor on the tight, with Canham and Salakai Lotto, who sort of came into his own a bit last week, being led by Fraser McWright, Harry Wilson, the old dog, at number 8, with Briar on the other side of the scrum. Louis Wershon, I was impressed with how he went last week for the Reds. Carter Gordon there will be leading them around the park like he can do. I think he's finally starting to get his feet on the ground there in Brisbane. And Dale Ganunu, he's starting there on the wing with Lockie Anderson on the other wing. So they're going there with quite a strong side, because even so, talking about points for benches, I think the Reds actually have the wood on the Brumbies here on the bench, with Asiata, Blake, Tuamanga, Allen, Uru, Latu, Thomas, McLaughlin, Phillips, and Pritchard on the bench. I think they're going to add some major firepower as they head into those last 20 minutes. So if we can just pull these up. Battles, well, the big battle I think is going to be in that front row. Hopefully it will be kept tight. It will be cold, because 7:30, 9 o'clock in Australia, in Canberra, wasn't it always cold over there? But I think this game is going to be a awesome Aussie derby. Charlie Cale up against Harry Wilson, even Meredith against Carter there at number 10 is going to be quite a battle. And then if we look at how the wings are going with Dale Ganunu and Sapsford going head-to-head with Toole and Anderson, I think it's going to be a good game, and I'm actually going to cause an upset here. I'm going to go Queensland to win this by 6 and under. I think that they've finally found their groove and found their click. So if I was a betting man, I'd probably throw a few, what do you call them? Queensland Reds players into the fantasy team, because I think they could be good. Who would you pick? Well, I think Fraser McWright could be a good one, along with Harry Wilson there in the forwards. And maybe, as I said, even Josh Fluke there at centre could pick up quite a few metres and a few points in your fantasy rugby competition. So that'll be an interesting one to see. So we got anything else? Late breaking news tomorrow, 12:30 down there, because we're all about Heartland, of course. So get on down to Fraser Park there in Timaru, 12:30 to watch the Crusaders development side take on the Highlanders. Be a great afternoon of rugby. It's free to get in, so go and check that out. So, what else do I have to say? Oh, yes, we have joined TikTok. The following's been growing a bit. I haven't done any dancing yet, but you never know. I might do a bit of a dance, especially if the Hurricanes win. And also, again, as I said, to our viewers on YouTube, thank you for watching the show, because the show, of course, is brought to you by Foursquare Franz Joseph down there on the West Coast. So go and pay them a visit. Get them before the price of cheese hits $20, and mention the show. I'm sure Josh will give you a discount. But otherwise, it's all go for the weekend. We're sort of looking forward to another big weekend. Of course, the Sevens are on in Vancouver as well this weekend, so there's rugby galore everywhere. So good luck to the Black Ferns and also to the All Black Sevens team. So basically, that's our show for the day, 33 minutes, and we didn't get cut off. If you did miss the last 20 minutes of our show on the Heartland Facebook page the other day, we have posted the missing 20, which was a bit of fun. So go and check that out. But otherwise, until Tuesday, when hopefully we'll have the whole team back again, this is Rab signing off, and we'll catch us all on the other side. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rugby. All the best. Later.